Hello and welcome back. I'm Adam Teen, a board member of the Pottawattamie Conservation Foundation.
I'm Chad Gravy. I'm a natural resource specialist with Pottawattamie Conservation.
Thank you for joining us on our virtual fundraising event. If you'd like to donate or bid on any of our items, registering is very easy. All you need to do is text the letters PCF to the number 72727.
You say it's easy. I'm not so sure it's easy for somebody that just runs a chainsaw, but I'm glad it's easy for them.
And hopefully we'll get lots of contributors. Tonight we'll be watching a video that discusses the natural area management that Pottawattamie Conservation performs. Chad, can you give us a brief overview of what that entails?
You bet. A number of years ago, the Conservation Board made a commitment to managing our natural areas and being good stewards of those. And so we've assembled a great team that's got some really dedicated people that are working to restore the health and integrity of these natural systems. That means we're working on dealing with invasive species that are many are from other continents. They don't belong here at all, but they interrupt how the system functions. And we're taking care of trails, and we're trying to restore the processes, harvesting seed and planting seed, and restoring the processes that make these or help these natural systems function well. Prescribed fire is one of those. Getting light back into the system where the trees are too dense, and restoring the hydrology by getting the native plants reestablished with those deep root systems. In addition to that, though, the real issue here is that humans, our modern day society, has a very dysfunctional relationship with the land. We've come to believe that we're in control, we can make it do what we want it to do, and we've forgotten that as we treat it, it treats us. The land really provides everything that we need, from shelter to clothing to fuel, and then our daily sustenance. And if we're not treating the land well, then we're ill as a result. And so we're really trying to help people recognize the importance of being good stewards, and then we're trying to demonstrate with our actions how to do that.
Thank you for that overview. Tonight we will be viewing the third in a four-part series that was produced by John Husted. This evening's video will give you a behind-the-scenes look at what the natural area management team does, and not only what they do, but why they do it, and why it is important for us as the county to support those efforts. Please enjoy the video.
Prairie basically means an area that doesn't have many trees, and it's a lot of grass. It's going to have a very high species diversity of grasses and wildflowers and sedges. But it's not just those plants. All the invertebrates that are pollinating, but also the small mammals, reptiles and amphibians and birds, and the fungi that live in the soil. It's an incredibly complex array of organisms that all comprise a community. If you take them out, the community collapses. My name is Chad Gravy, and I was hired full-time in 1998 as a park ranger here, and then the job has transitioned over time. It still has park ranger in the title, but I'm focused more on managing our natural areas. When I first started working with Pottawattamie County Conservation, the mission was very much focused on providing outdoor recreational opportunities for people. But we've grown and expanded, and we've put more emphasis on environmental education and teaching people about the significance of our natural areas. And then we've also taken the next step, which is to be stewards of that natural system and realize the importance of a human engagement in caring for the land and relating to it in a healthy manner, so that the land can be healthy, and then in turn, so can we, because it provides everything for us. These here, this is rough gerardia, which is an annual plant that grows in these remnant prairies. And then this is little bluestem, which is one of the dominant grasses that we find in the prairie. We're getting ready to plant 30 acres of reconstructions in an area that was row crop. We like to plant it with local ecotype seed, stuff that grows right here instead of buying seed from some distant place. That usually means getting out and picking by hand. The real dark ones, especially if they look split open on the tops of the pods, those are ready. Iowa ranks as the most altered state in the country. Prior to settlement, 85% of Iowa was tall grass prairie. We have less than 1/10 of 1% of it remaining. So what once covered 85% of the state is virtually gone. And we can't recreate it, so it's lost forever. So whatever we have left, we still have the opportunity to be stewards of that and care for that. And I think that's the purpose of humankind, is to care for everything else. We're going to selectively cut trees out of this edge. And we're starting with this elm right here. The woodlands are way more dense than they're supposed to be, so they need to be thinned out for their own health, but also thinning off this edge here will allow more late afternoon light to get into this prairie. It'll allow more wind to move through here, and those are all parts of how these systems function. And so we look at the historical evidence to clue us into what is a healthy system. We're not at all interested in going back in time to what it was. That's not even realistic. This is 2019, not 1851. But 1851 gives us some understanding of how the system functions when it's healthy. So now we want to move forward in time to a healthy condition, not back in time. The primary thing that we're doing is just trying to pay attention to those basic biological principles. We need sunlight, we need water, we need those in the right way in the system so that the system can function. And then recognizing where our culture has interrupted processes and trying to restore those processes. Euro-American settlers started suppressing fires. Without fire, the energy and the nutrients in the system couldn't cycle like they were supposed to. And that allowed the trees to take over and shade out the plants. And that's affected the hydrology. So we can put fire back into the system. Our culture also got rid of the native grazers. So try to restore that process of grazing. In some cases, we're trying to do that with cattle and goats, but ultimately we want to do that with bison and elk because they're the right critters for the landscape. But all this brush is starting to shade out the grass and the wildflowers, and so we cut that to get sun down to the ground so that those native plants get what they need and they come on stronger. Bump in ahead of you, Jordan. We need to get sunlight back into the system. We need fire back in the system. We need the grazers doing their thing. Ultimately, though, we need a human community that interacts with and appreciates the land and respects the land and has gratitude for what the land does for us. This place has taught me that we're part of the place. We're not separate. We kind of have this idea in our culture that nature is something to look at, whether it's the calendar or out the window or the picture on your computer monitor, but it's actually something to experience directly. It's alive. It's a dynamic system and it's real. It's not fake, it's not artificial. It's a real experience. It's not fabricated. I learned a long time ago that every person serves a purpose. And I think my purpose is to be a steward of creation and also sharing it with other people and helping them connect with something that's bigger than us. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was an opportunity to see some of the landscapes that we're working in and hopefully recognize that Pottawattamie County is very fortunate to have the natural areas remaining that we do have. Iowa's the most altered state in the country. It's the least natural state, which to me is a little bit depressing, but we do have some great natural systems left to work with and to be good stewards of, and the video is really about how we're trying to take care of these systems and do our best to restore them, and then that gives right back to us in return. So hopefully that message came across well in those videos.
Yeah, as discussed in the video, the natural area management team can do the work, but ultimately they need your help to protect and restore these fine resources we have here in Pottawattamie County.
Yeah, to that point, over the years I've found that people are really willing to help support land acquisition. They're willing to help support building buildings and infrastructure, kind of that human-built environment. But when it comes to actually taking care of the land and being good stewards, that's just not as easy to drum up support for. So we're really grateful for the people that are supporting this effort, and we're thankful for any support you can give to the natural areas work.
So this year, with our event being virtual, we wanted to try to make it as easy as possible for people to donate and bid on items. So we do have an online auction going on with Qtego. To register for it, all you need to do is text the letters PCF to the number 72727. This will get you registered and you can bid on lots of great items. One of the larger items that we have up for bid is all 5 new modern cabins at Arrowhead Park for 2 nights. That would be enough sleeping areas for an entire family reunion, small class reunion. It's a really nice item that we have up for bid.
And I think tomorrow night we begin the final phase of our event. We're going to start focusing and showcasing the efforts of our environmental education program. They've built a very strong reputation in the state for developing excellent programming that reaches all different age levels, and really, like I say, starting to strive to restore that connection between humans and the natural world and get people outdoors and active, and hopefully the work that John Husted is doing to capture the essence of that program and give you that behind the scenes look at the education program is helpful.
So again, thanks for joining us tonight with these videos, and again, please be sure to register and bid and donate if you're able. The money all goes to supporting the educational opportunities and the natural areas management to help maintain the parks that we have here in Pottawattamie County. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back this coming Thursday night.
We're grateful for your support.